talked to the one, what's his name? The Ryman, I think. And then she said, how long have I been stuck in this town? I said, 3 years. I was like, oh, okay, it's WandaVision.
What does it line up to like the actual timeline of when WandaVision ended?
Yeah.
I think so, because that was 2021.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
So she's been in there real time.
Yeah, it was summer 2021?
Yeah.
Yes. I think.
No, it came out in October, I think.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, was it October?
Oh, it was around Halloween, yeah, because they had that Halloween episode, and it was around Halloween when
WandaVision was in January of 2021.
Oh, it was? We're all wrong.
Oh my God, we're all wrong.
January. Nobody was right.
We're live, by the way, folks, just so you know. This is the MCU Bleeding Edge, folks. Little inside baseball, inside a little peek of at the inside workings of MCU's Bleeding Edge right there. Sorry, folks, I had to drop that record button real quick. But good to see everybody. It is Wednesday, 9/18/2024. Here to do Agatha All Along, episode 1 here on the MCU's Bleeding Edge. Back with us. We're really happy to have her back. Ceren, it's good to see you, my friend.
Hi.
You look really good.
Thank you.
You look better than you did last time. So good for you. I know it's got to be hard to stay pretty at 3 a.m., but you're pulling it off so far. Gunnar, it's good to see you. See you back again within 2 weeks.
Yeah, man.
Within 3 weeks or whatever it's been. It's good to see you back. Andrew, the pop culture guy, is here. Cyberneticshark is here. Imran, Jock and Nerd Podcast is here.
Hey, missed you
we got the Shogun Squad back. The only person we don't have is Wrath of Khan. So Gunnar, you're gonna have to step in for Wrath of Khan. You should be okay for that, though. I think you can handle it. He's just a young lad, so you're funnier than he is.
Well, my underwear is older than him, so
there you go. Yes, definitely. He's very young. All right. So first question, WandaVision, right? All right. So we were talking about WandaVision already when we started off the show. So I'll go to you first, Gunnar, then I'll go to you, Ceren. Thoughts on WandaVision 3 years later or whatever it's been since the show came out. Where are you at with the show, Gunnar? You just watched it?
Yeah, so I was very afraid to rewatch it. I think when we discussed it on here and on my podcast way back when we did our top 10 that year, I loved it, and it was because of the whole experience. It was something that was more than just watching the show. It was the theorizing. It was the watching all the breakdowns online. It was listening to podcasts that I never listened to before because they might talk about WandaVision. Like, I soaked up every minute of it. I was podcasting on it. I was in love with it. And then a year later, so I'm like, I don't think I ever want to rewatch it again because I think I was so blinded by the experience that if I rewatch it, it's not going to hold up. Well, I watched it over the last 2 days, and I'm very happy to say I loved it. I feel just as much as before. Like, man, it still holds up. And just thinking about all the predictions that we got wrong on our show, and I'm hoping that they will come true on this show. So I don't think we're getting Wonderman, which was my big prediction. But I think we might see some of the other stuff that we talked about on our show. Snap was our old Marvel podcast back in the day. So, yeah, man, I loved WandaVision. I loved it today as I was finishing up the series. It was a good watch. Still a good watch.
That finale is pretty good, right?
Oh, it's great. It's great. And, like, honestly, it might be my favorite Marvel trailer. So I've probably watched the trailer 20 times in the last 2 weeks, like just getting ready for Agatha. Like, that's such a great trailer.
That's going to be the next MCU show we do. Like, pick your best top 10 MCU trailers.
Man,
and we'll play them.
I'm on that. When you call me for that one, I'll be there.
I'm telling you, that'd be a good show. Pick your favorite top 10 MCU trailers. You know who had a good trailer? Shang-Chi. That second Shang-Chi trailer?
I just watched that one today. I got on like 10 minutes early, and I'm like, man, what am I going to do for 10 minutes? And
I watched that shit, and I was like, holy fuck. Shang-Chi is fucking looking nice. You know what I'm saying? It didn't look the movie wasn't as good as the trailer, but that trailer was sick. What do you think?
Age of Ultron also had a sick. That trailer was like a lot better than the movie. And I like Age of Ultron, but that was an awesome trailer.
So, Red, your thoughts on WandaVision?
at first I watched it and I was kind of confused, and then there's this plot twist, and I was like, oh, and then it became my favorite series. But I haven't watched it ever since because I don't know, I just forgot about it. But I would say it's one of my favorite TV series, Marvel series, after Loki. After Loki, because Loki is here and WandaVision is here.
That's fair. Loki is a pretty solid show. We redid Loki too. Andres and I did, as well as WandaVision. We rewatched that. Cyber, what are your thoughts on WandaVision, sir? I haven't heard you talk about WandaVision in a long time.
Well, I mean, I would say my opinion on the show has changed since we reviewed it in 2021. I definitely have come to appreciate it more because, I don't know, probably about sometime last year, we ended up rewatching it at my house, and I went back over it going, you know what, some of a lot of these episodes were decently done. They were really good, and it was a decent show. And so I would definitely say that I think that, going into Agatha, rewatching WandaVision was a very smart idea. And I feel it will help you to appreciate it more if you haven't watched WandaVision yet. Highly recommend watch it, people, before you see this one. But overall, I think that my opinion on WandaVision really has changed a little bit. I definitely, like I said, I appreciate it more. I enjoyed it more. And I think that it overall, it was actually a lot better show than I thought it was. And so I think that, going from, I can't remember exactly what I rated it at that time, but I definitely would have moved it up a couple notches after, thinking about it for a little time. But definitely a decent show. Highly recommend watch it if you haven't seen it before watching this, like I said. And I definitely feel that, after, I would say, a couple years after not watching it and then watching again, like Gunnar just said, it definitely does hold up. And the CGI effects, the story, the whole thought process still was really good and still very fresh. So I think they did a lot better job now that I've, over time I've thought about the show, has matured a little more. So I definitely have more higher value for it. Still not my favorite of all the MCU shows, but definitely has moved up a notch in my book.
Okay. If I go to you, Imran, commercial break.
Don't even look like y'all can walk. Oh, shit. She had the Heisman on her ass. Oh, shit. Lean with it. Rock with it. The zombies. Mr. Lee, what's wrong with them?
I don't know, but it's looking good.
Look, hey, Solomon, what's wrong with him, Solomon?
Yoda, boy.
Smile for the camera. Say hi. Say hi. Oh, she can't even respond. Oh, shit. Oh. Oh, what the fuck? No, we going viral today. Boy, what that is, y'all, on that Scooby-Doo pop-pop? No. Hey, boy, standing ovation. What the fuck? Y'all both pumping gas? Hey. Look.
Imran, isn't that your ex-girlfriend?
Yeah, how'd she even get to the gas station in that condition while you're filling up the gas? What, just lied out? I thought she was doing the pee-pee dance, and she was just gonna drop her pants and just let it go there. But then I don't know what happened at the end.
That was the crackhead step.
Yeah, do not let that woman back in that car. That's all I do. Take your keys. My
So,
God.
Imran, WandaVision.
Was that Elizabeth Olsen? Is that why you said that? Was that what she's doing now? Was that Scarlet Witch? WandaVision. Look, first of all, I'm really happy to hear from Gunnar that it holds up because I remember loving the show and it still being one of my favorite of we're at the 11th MCU TV series. That was the first. I remember how exciting that was. They were going into short form television, never been done by DC. I also am a huge fan of just sitcoms. And
Oh, sir, it's been done by DC many times.
Well, Yeah, no, by DC. Sorry, by Marvel. What am I saying? By the MCU. But I loved it that they went through the different era of television shows because I'm a TV junkie and I've been watching TV and I love all the black and white sitcoms and they're going through. I could name. So watching for the Easter eggs was so much fun. Every week you thought Mephisto was going to show up. That was a lot of fun. It never does. Remember Evan Peters shows up as Ralph Boner. That was wild. Just a great show and the relationship between her and Vision. And we get a white Vision out of that who's going to have his own TV show. And they've said this is all part of a trilogy with WandaVision being part one. Agatha All Along is the second part. And the Vision show is the third part of the trilogy. So the creators of that, this first episode was the same Zach Schaefer, writer, director, because I was excited that they were coming back to do this because WandaVision remains with some of the better stuff. And we've seen the quality kind of decline, let's say, where you get to shows like Echo and Secret Invasion.
Echo was gangbusters, man. What are you talking about?
Things people didn't
I still haven't watched Echo. I don't know why.
Exactly. Some people, that's how good it was.
Just watch out for those glowy hands, motherfucker.
That's because they dumped that whole 5-episode show at once and hope people would forget about it and moved on. But I love WandaVision, and I'm also a fan of Multiverse of Madness. Wanda's arc from there to the Doctor Strange movie is fantastic. And I can't wait to see where that leads us.
We need some more. We need some Wanda. We need a Wanda interjection in the MCU. It's about time for her.
She's not dead. She'll be back. Come on. I don't think she's dead.
She needs to appear in something sometime soon. What do you think, Andre's a pop culture guy? You stuck on. You here decided to show up late as usual.
How about this? Fuck you. I was arriving on time, sir. I was trying to finish up an episode called Agatha All Along, episode 1. You know what? Thank goodness we rewatched WandaVision last year, right? Me and Jeff, Jeff brought up
this year.
Yeah, this year. Oh, yeah, this year. Wow, that's crazy. And yeah, I do agree with Gunnar that it still holds up. This is my second favorite MCU, Disney Plus show after Hawkeye, and it did such a good job of like expanding Wanda and Vision as characters, because they were there in the MCU movies, but I think WandaVision did such a good job of expanding those characters and it made us care for them. And at the same time, it was such a pop culture phenomenon, just like, of course, the theme song, the Agatha All Along theme is so iconic. It was so important, especially for me. This is the first podcast that I did when I was expanding my YouTube stuff, and so this show holds a special place for my heart. And when I heard they were going to do this, I was like, okay, I like this. I like this character, Africa. I mean, look, Catherine O'Hara, great actress. If you haven't seen her work, she's amazing. I mean, she's so funny. I mean, Step Brothers, come on.
Catherine O'Hara?
Catherine Hahn. Oh, my God, no.
Ohana.
Oh, my God.
No,
Aloha.
That's the noise she makes when she's being fucked.
Oh, my God, Cyber.
No. Michael B. Jordan. There. I brought back the iconic line, Michael B. Jordan. Anyway, almost there to bring Shaq here. Anyway. Shaq. But yeah, so I fairly enjoyed this show. I WandaVision, so it's very important to me, and I think it still holds up.
So it's close to your heart, sir. That's very sweet. We'd like to hear that here at the MCU's Bleeding Edge, especially here at the MCU's Bleeding Edge. All right, so you guys can gauge the episode when I say that I'm going to separate it into 4, 25% chunks, basically into 4 quarters. You guys can gauge on your own, but I want to start off with the first 2 scenes, basically, that play out at the crime scene, and then when they actually go to the police office or whatever, for the first time. And we go through and see the chief and all that, and then we get introduced to Aubrey Plaza's character. I'll start with you, Ceren. What are your thoughts on the introduction of Agatha All Along, episode 1?
I was a bit confused because I was like, what is going on? I forgot, like, I don't know why, but I was a bit confused on like where we are. And also I thought I liked that it was like very like rainy because it's also currently raining, and it's also like a bit thundery here. So that was a perfect atmosphere to watch this show. But I liked it because I love like crime and thriller to watch that, and it reminded me of that. And then I saw Aubrey Plaza. I was like, oh, I'm hooked because I love Aubrey Plaza. I think I enjoy her presence ever since White Lotus. So I think like when I saw that she was in there, I was like hooked. I was like, okay, I will watch this show. And also I just love Catherine Hahn. And like I said, I was a bit like confused. And then I saw the chief. I was like, oh, I know him. And then I like went to IMDb. I was like, okay, from where do I know him? And it turned out he was in Chicago PD. So I really enjoyed the opening scene, and I was like curious to know like where is this going, and when will the WandaVision aspect like be thrown into the mix? And turned out it was way far into the episode than I wanted to be.
Yeah, it was cool to see Herb come back from WandaVision. We saw a lot of WandaVision characters, but we saw Herb right from jump. I'll go back to you, Andre's Pop Culture Guy. Your thoughts on those first two scenes that start off the episode?
Very good. Very dark, like very gritty, very dark atmosphere. You know, like a police procedure, which they nailed it so well. You know, one of the things that, you know, if you remember WandaVision, they did like the sitcom here. With the information we know about this show, they're kind of going for like the dark psychological like horror genre, and you know this one is clearly aiming at like the dark, you know, procedure stuff, like, you know, True Detective, or the one that I think this episode is more inspired by, East Town or something like that.
Mare East Town.
Yeah, thank you. So like they really nailed that aspect, and you know. And you see Africa still under the spell from WandaVision, so she doesn't know, like she isn't aware what's happening to her. So it's very interesting to see her like acting like a cop, and you know, and it's like you know, I was very curious about that, you know, before we get the big reveal later in the episode. So I think this sequence did such a good job of putting you in what this show is going to be.
Okay, Imran.
Yeah, you know, really interesting start for me. I guess we should establish what at the end of WandaVision, what happens. Wanda puts Agatha in a spell, keeping her in this town of Westview, and she takes her powers, right? So going in, you're like, okay, we know she's in the spell, but I like the way it started like a detective show. That was kind of clever, and yeah, to give homage to detective shows. But right away, they hook you in. There's a body. They tease. They don't show you who it is, you know. And you watch the trailer, you always wonder. We get a little more teases, and you're like, "Is it who I think it is?" And then when we do meet Aubrey Plaza at the top of the list, she's already giving you little hints and clues that this reality isn't what it is. Trying to snap Agnes out of it. She calls herself Agnes. It's like, "Oh, we're talking about space. All right, we'll do that. Let's do that." Kind of alluding to there's more, trying to goad her, snap her out of this a little bit. But I thought it was a really, really interesting start. Had me hooked right at the get-go, which I didn't know what the tone was going to be. Oh. Am I cutting in and out?
Yes, sir. You are cutting in and out.
Yes.
You sound muffled. You sound like Darth Vader, sir. Like Darth. Like James Earl Jones.
Whoa, rest in peace.
Luke, I am your father.
You sound like that. Like you sound like Chewbacca.
What is happening? Okay, well, go on. Maybe it'll fix itself. Let me check.
You're good. You sound good now.
Okay. I don't know why I was doing that.
Did you have anything else to say, sir?
No, good, interesting, intriguing start. I was happy you got me hooked.
Okay. Cyberneticshark, sir.
So just like Andre mentioned there's a heavy feeling of that Mayor of Easttown show.
Featuring Evan Peters, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah.
He was on that show.
Yeah.
Ralph Boner himself.
oh,
The whole beginning, leading up to to Aubrey Plaza popping up, like that was very much that whole like cop drama vibe. Agnes, in Westview, definitely making fun of that, and it plays off just like a procedural, almost like one of those cop procedural shows, exactly like that. So it was kind of different. It was very different for a beginning of an MCU show. It definitely was a little more mature versus how WandaVision started off. So I was kind of impressed with that it started off kind of, more, feature like that. So I actually was intrigued by it. I wasn't too sure going into the show at first how it was going to start off, but I feel it started off very strong. This beginning sequence, kind of getting you into where Agnes or Agatha is at this point after being left in the hex or left in the trance that Wanda left her in. So I think that they did a good job kind of giving you a thought process of that, leading up to kind of the introduction of, Aubrey Plaza's character, who, by the way, is awesome. But yeah, great beginning intro, I feel.
I don't think they actually name her in this episode. I don't think she gets.
Well, she says Agent Vidal is her name.
Ah, that's right, Agent Vidal.
But
Rio
on
Vidal.
IMDb, I think it says something with Revival. I think.
No, she's listed as Rio Vidal.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Rio Vidal.
Gunnar, your thoughts are on that opening.
Well, my first thought was I was really confused why everyone was still using their WandaVision name, but that was answered later. But I thought the coolest thing that hasn't been mentioned yet was they gave the fake show on it the name Agatha of Westview, which, if you remember, was the original announced title for the show.
Oh, yeah.
Kevin Feige announced it. That's what it was called. And it went through like 10 different names before they settled on Agatha All Along. So it would be cool if each episode was another one of those fake names that they gave us. I don't think it was fake. I just think they kept changing it. So, but I thought that was a cool callback to its original title. But yeah, I mean, I have nothing more to say that hasn't already been said. Yeah, definitely Mayor of Easttown vibes. It still drives me crazy when people are walking around with empty coffee cups. Fill it with water. And that way, at least it'll look like it's not an empty coffee cup. That drives me crazy. But yeah, besides that, that was really the only thing we haven't talked about.
Gunnar, I'll let you start. My next question is, moving forward in the episode, you get the scene where you head back to Agatha's house, then you get introduced to the Joe Locke character, right? And
I got lots to say about him. So.
And we get that, yeah, I do too. And we get that, well, I don't have that much to say about him, but when we get that interrogation, I'll stop there. Gunnar, your thoughts?
On interrogating Joe Locke? Is that what
up until that point.
Well, first off, Joe Locke, I think we all know who that is, right? It's Billy Kaplan. Billy Kaplan.
Yeah.
Now, there was a scene that they showed from probably episode 2. I would bet anything it's in episode 2, where he says, "My name is," and then they kind of bleep it out.
They do like the Matrix thing.
Yeah, and they put that M over it. I'm 100% sure it's Billy Chaplin. Kaplan, is it, or Chaplin?
Chaplin, I think it's
Billy Chaplin is from For Love of the Game, which is one of my favorite movies. So I'm going to keep calling him that. But I think he's going to say I'm Mephisto, because I think we're finally going to see Mephisto.
Are we going to?
I don't think he's Mephisto, but I think he's going to say I'm Mephisto because he's a spawn of Mephisto. We know from WandaVision, demon. What did Evan Peters call him? Demon spawn. So, and we saw Senior Scratchy, which I am still taking heat from predicting that Senior Scratchy was Mephisto.
Oh, right. The bunny. Everybody thought the bunny was.
I am going to stand firm. I know that's later on in the episode that's going to be Mephisto, but I think that's cool. I think it's going to be Billy Kaplan. I'm going to call him Billy Chaplin. And I think he's going to say episode eventually that I am Mephisto. So, but yeah, the interrogation was great. It was cool how it started falling apart and it started making more sense, at least to me, that it's all in her head. Because why would Herb be called Herb when we found out in WandaVision his name was, I think, John? So why would he be Herb? And why would Dottie be Dottie? And all those guys have their WandaVision names. So it that scene started waking us all up, I think, as watchers to what's going on in the episode. So I like that scene, and I'm looking forward to Joe Locke's character, seeing exactly where he goes.
Okay, Imran.
Look, this is already a show that, like, it's got me paying attention to every little thing and names and backgrounds and signs. This is kind of what I missed in these Marvel shows. It's a lot of fun. I love the bit where the title, there's the library slip and the title of the book. She figures out the first letters spelled Darkhold. They drop these little clues. You see, did she used to have a son? They were alluding that, like, she had a son that died, right? And then that interrogation scene was great. And then Vidal with more lines, like, do you remember traveling? Do you remember why you hate me? Like, she can't remember a lot of her past. And then I love that when it gets trippy, where the photos change and the mirror turns into a picture. I love when it does that stuff. But so that I'm glad, because we know there's a spell. It seems to be a spell within a spell. I was like, I hope they don't take the whole episode for her to, like, wake up. This is what I didn't want to happen. So they had some fun with it, but in the first episode, they're gonna wake her up and continue forward, which is smart.
Cyber.
So this part here, we get the introduction of the teen, which will become a trope throughout the series, I've heard. I was just reading about it, that he is not allowed to refer to his real name, Billy Kaplan, because he has some sort of hex on him that doesn't allow him to say his own name. So he will be referred to a lot throughout the series as teen. I'm not sure how accurate that is to the comic book that he's based off of or what, but that's what they're saying for the TV series. But this section was pretty, good too. It was, I didn't find any downtime with it. I thought it was very entertaining. I was really impressed with it. Like I said, I was really worried about this show going into it. So I was really impressed with that. This beginning sequence here too, as well, did really good. Leading up to the interrogation scene, which we won't talk about yet, that section of it was pretty interesting too, as well, with the introduction of several of the Westview characters again. Agatha portraying kind of the Kate Winslet character for Mayor Easttown quite a bit here, and her responses. And, we definitely get a very kind of funny, moment there where, Agatha says to the sheriff, eat my ass, which was super funny. So I laughed pretty hard at that, which is even more ironic later on in the episode. We'll talk about here, but interesting beginning, interesting little midsection there that worked out very well.
Ceren.
Wait, what was the question?
We're going from where we ended on our first question all the way up to the interrogation scene of Joe Locke.
Okay, but we are not going to talk about the interrogation scene.
You can. Imran already did, so you can if you want.
Okay, I found it very interesting when this teen, he said some type of spell. I noticed that. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, that's interesting. And also I like that how Catherine Hahn was like a bit aggressive. And also she said, something about his bed and then about something being dull, I think. I don't really remember that scene, but I like that bad cop, good cop energy of her.
Okay. Yeah, she played she had like a very macho bravado type deal that she worked with like throughout the whole episode, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did you have anything else?
No.
Andre's the pop culture guy.
Yeah, so this sequence was pretty good. It's just what it's trying to do is kind of let Agatha slowly put the pieces together who she is prior to the spell, which is really cool. It felt like what we saw from WandaVision, like how like Wanda was kind of losing her like her insanity a little bit, like her losing like she was losing control somewhat of her powers. And here's the inverse of that with Agatha, where she's like losing her mind because the spell, it's, you know, spoil for this episode, like it's breaking away from Agatha, and she's like gaining consciousness, you know, especially when she in her office during like the nighttime, she was writing down her last name, Harkness, or like Darkhold, right? And so like she's kind of remembering slowly. So it was really cool, and you know, I always dug those kind of like eerie kind of mysteries in you know, stuff like the Twilight Zone or like or you know, Outer Limits, something like that. Like it felt like that for those sections when she was like regaining her memory or somewhat. Yeah, and then Audrey Plaza, I forgot to mention her. She's another actress I love. I mean, if you haven't seen Parks or Recreation or Legion, another Marvel show that I really loved, that she was great there. Like I was very curious who her character was, you know, and I thought she really added that like mystique of like what's going on with Agatha right now at Westwood. But I think the sequence is really good. And going piggyback with Cyber, yeah, I heard a sliver thing about the teen that is obviously Billy, that apparently he's under some spell like Agatha, like he cannot say his name because of some curse, and so that makes a lot of sense. I just very surprised that, you know, they're going to keep this a secret, like the fact that all of us know that. But I don't know. Gunnar maybe he's having a point. Maybe he could be Mephisto. Maybe the rabbit is Mephisto. I don't know. Maybe Green Reaper. Come on, like that's another character we can need to think about. Green Reaper.
No Mephisto, sir. We're not allowed to have Mephisto.
That's true. Oh my God, Mephisto, dear Lord. But yeah, so I really dug the sequence, and yeah, the teen is okay. I mean, whatever. He seems okay so far.
Okay, so moving forward to the part of the episode where Agnes starts to you know, go through the whole ordeal with Aubrey Plaza's character, where she shows up right when she sort of, I guess, basically, you know, going all the way to the end of the episode, we'll say, you know, from when she actually, you know, from the interrogation, does have that cool scene where the Joe Locke character does the magic, and it causes, you know, her to actually end up back in her house and realize, you know, through Aubrey Plaza's character, that she, you know, she is Agatha Harkness. And then we get the duel between her and Agatha, and then Agatha finding Billy, I guess, in that closet in her house, and kind of walking around the house and kind of giving us a going back to the basement for the first time since WandaVision, right? And seeing that it's completely changed and all that. Starting with you, Cyber.
I'm sorry, we're going up to where?
The end of the episode.
End of the episode. Jeez. Oh, shit. Well, so, I mean, basically from there, we get the interrogation sequence where Agatha starts to see things changing. Then, you know, basically she ends up back at her house, and Aubrey Plaza shows up, or Rio Vidal, as she's called. And it brings a pizza. And I'd be like, if you brought pizza, I'd be like, yeah, you could come in. Hell yeah, pizza. You got pizza. Anyways, comes in and, basically they have like a moment. And then all of a sudden she hears a noise upstairs. And that's when we get introduced to Joe Locke there briefly. And that's when we get to the, go to the interrogation sequence. And then after that, that's when we end up in the morgue. And that's where Agatha finally starts to get out of Wanda's hex or spell that she left on her. And we see her basically change back to the different characters she portrayed in WandaVision. We see, of course, the 80s inspired one, the 70s inspired one, the 60s, which was in black and white. And then all of a sudden she is her normal looking self. And eventually she pulls herself completely out of it, ends up back at her house, butt ass naked. And I was like, wow, they're really going for it in this. I mean, this is really TV rated 14, isn't it? And so then she storms out of the house, butt ass naked, and goes talks to her black neighbor. And I'm just cracking up going, why didn't she put any clothes on? I don't get this. I just don't get it. And she's talking there, and everyone's kind of like staring, going, why is Agatha out here naked? Like, why, And I love how the neighbor tries to put the jacket on her. And she
she throws it off. He's like, could you put some clothes on? You're naked.
And so as she's doing that, they keep talking, and she, finds out that, it's been 3 years since, Wanda put the hex on her. And so she's kind of piecing things together. And finally, she ends up going back inside, and we get a great rear end shot of her, which I was really surprised by. I'm like, wow, we're really going here for it.
It's a stunt booty. It's definitely a stunt booty.
No, Catherine Hahn was naked, pregnant and naked in the show Hung.
Oh man, pregnant, naked. That
sounds for like 9 months pregnant.
That's great.
That sounds like that sounds like the title of one of the first porn movies ever, in like the 80s. That was the title right there.
Hung was about a high school baseball teacher that
naked and pregnant too.
No, she was already pregnant. That's a good show though.
It's like a reality show, Naked and Pregnant in the Wild, season 2.
Naked and Pregnant, All Stars, All Star,
Naked and Pregnant Road Rules Challenge.
And they have to all give birth.
Yes, at the end, whoever gives birth first is the winner. That's how you win Naked and Pregnant.
My favorite kind of pornography, pregnant porn.
Anyways, so with the stunt booty, which wasn't a stunt booty, she walks away, goes back in the house, puts on her house coat, and she's still kind of piecing things together. She opens the door to find Billy in there, tied up and gagged, and she's like, "Oh, so this is reality." And then all of a sudden, boom! She gets hit against the wall, and of course, that's when Rhea Vidal shows back up, Miss Aubrey Plaza, and they start to fight a little bit, and we get that great little fight. And basically, they're kind of talking back and forth about things and how pretty much everyone's coming to try to kill you, Agatha. And the fact that she doesn't have her powers, as she has discovered that every ounce of her powers is drained by Wanda. And of course, we talk about the Darkhold a little bit here in these sequences too, about her stealing the Darkholds, all the Darkholds apparently. So apparently, there's more than one Darkhold, or I don't know if we'll learn about that later on. But it sounded like there was more than one Darkhold, and so we get that sequence, and definitely there was some innuendo vibes going on between Agatha and Rhea Vidal, like they had a history or something. Yeah. And I kept feeling that, and I was like, oh God, please don't go that way. Anyways, so of course they kind of have that going on, and eventually she's able to get Rhea to leave by saying, well, let me get my power back, and then I'll fight you all, kind of deal. And you're kind of like, wow, that person's an idiot if they agree to that. And so she does, and ends up leaving like, "Oh, they're gonna come and kill you." I'm like, "Okay, yeah," but and how she's like, "By chance, who is coming to kill me?" Kind of deal. You're kind of like, she's like everybody, and you're just kind of like, "Wow, Agatha has pissed off a lot of people." You could tell, over the centuries she's been around. So it'll be interesting to see if they go more into detail about that, about her past transgressions, and. So then after she leaves, she you get kind of that, her kind of thinking of what she's going to do with Joe Locke. And basically that's how the episode ends. So really great end. I mean, great ending. I mean, lots of great action, hilarious at certain points. The nudity was hilarious. I mean, that whole sequence was just that actor did a great job to play the neighbor. He was absolutely fantastic how he dealt with it. And I think overall the ending sequence did a really good job. It's going to lead well into the next episode. And I think it was a very solid first episode.
See, if a new woman walked up to me, I would just look at her. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't hold back. I would just look right at her because you're naked. You know what I mean? And you're the opposite sex, so I'm going to look at you. It's like one of them chicks at the gym videotaping guys and get them in trouble and shit like that, all that kind of shit. But what do you think, Ceren? What are your thoughts on the rest of the episode from where we dropped off?
I loved that fight with Aubrey Plaza, even though I felt very bad for Catherine Hahn, but that was really fun. But also, I'm excited because Aubrey Plaza said in an interview that this show is the queerest show we'll ever get, and I'm very excited about that. But also, with the neighbor was very funny because I at first I didn't really. I guess I was a bit tired, so I was like, "Why? She's naked," and then they're showing it. I'm like, "Huh?" And so I watched it twice. I was like, "Oh, I see." And then it was really cool, seeing all the different decades of her, I guess, with the different outfits, and her hair was even different in her house. And I'm very curious to see where this is all going, how she will end up calling the coven, and then them having to fight, or what's the premise? I think them having to go on this journey with her.
Yeah, the Witch's Road, it's called.
Mm-hmm.
The road, because he says, "I'm looking for the road."
Yes, and I'm very intrigued in this. I want to watch the second episode, but I was like, I don't know. So to me, first episodes are kind of pilots, so it's always a hit or miss. But this one was a hit, and I'm very excited for the upcoming episodes.
He was like, "I want to go to that road where that chick from that commercial I played went to."
Does that road lead to the gas station where that woman is? She's still doing the people dance.
I want some of that. I want some of what she had. That's
she had. Where were you?
Anyways, Gunnar, sir.
Going back to WandaVision, I was very excited that they dropped the name the Salem 7, which was something I predicted would show up in WandaVision, which of course didn't. 95% of all predictions everyone was making for WandaVision didn't come true, so it's good that we're finally going to see them in this episode, which I don't know if that is just the coven she killed at the beginning of that one episode. They never went out and called them that. The ones
who is the Salem 7, Gunnar?
They are just they're from the comics. There's a whole big backstory on them. They were from Agatha's time back in
this show. They're probably a bunch of dykes.
Well, so I liked seeing another character that was referenced in WandaVision, Dottie's daughter, who she referenced when she said, "Oh, my daughter can hang out with your kids if you like that storyline." So it was cool to see the daughter that didn't actually show up in WandaVision, but she showed up here. So this episode was great. The fight was great. I'm intrigued because we know from the trailer that this journey. We also saw Mrs. Hart again, Deborah Jo Rupp, which we know she's going to have at least a small part in it as she's going on the quest at the beginning with them. So I'm very excited to watch the second episode and excited to see where this goes.
Okay. Andre's a pop culture guy.
Yeah. So the interrogation scene was very funny. I like how she was trying to be the back cop. It's like, like, all right, boy, here what's going on, and bam, here, see this dead body, and then all of a sudden, speaking of Legion, just all of a sudden it became Legion. It's like, there's just flowers here, and I was like, whoa, like that was when it caught my attention. I was like, oh, they're doing it, and then obviously her transformation to the various Africa sitcoms was really nice, seeing the different versions, and I like how they went from the modern to the very first episode of Africa being the noisy neighbor in the black and white. So that was really cool. And then we see naked Africa. I was like, whoa. I was like, okay, okay. And then and then we get the white shot. I was like, whoa, we're really going here. I was like, wow. In my little child mind, I was like, best show ever. Like this is what I think, this is the first nudity in the MCU project. Now that we got MCU cursing, since Guardians Volume 3 and Deadpool Wolverine, and now nudity. I was like, oh my god, come on, this is the best year. Like, this is the best year. X-Men 97, Deadpool Wolverine, now this show. Oh my god, it's gonna be a fantastic
Thor was
year.
naked in Thor 4.
Oh no. Oh no, don't say that. Oh, fuck me. Oh, anyway. I don't know what you're talking about, Gunnar. I'm too old. I cannot remember what movie you're talking about. I'm so sorry, brother. Anyway, so I was like, whoa, and then we're getting really great hints, like don't say Wanda's name, which that's kind of cool because every horror movie, like Beetlejuice, you cannot say Beetlejuice's name. And it's kind of cool that they don't want to say the name Wanda because like what she did in Westworld. I like that they confirmed it's been 3 years. So like we're around where, I guess the Marvel's release or whatever time we're in the timeline. So, yeah, that was really cool. And then when she came back in the house, getting robed and then going downstairs and then we see the bunny. I was like, how the hell did bunny survive for 3 years? Like, you think that bunny'd be dead? So
Mephisto can't die.
Maybe. You know what? I have an idea. That's a sentinel rabbit. Okay, that's a sentinel rabbit. That's not a creature. That's a robot.
Oh boy.
Or rabbit. I'm gonna guess that. That's a robot rabbit. And then I was, she opens the door and see John Locke's character, and so that was very intriguing. And then all of a sudden, Andre Plaza's character came in, and I was shocked that we got this. I thought in the trailer, because we see a little bit of this in the trailer, or the behind scenes look. I thought this was going to be later in the series. The fact that it was like right here, I was like, oh wow. And I like their banter. I really like their interaction. Like, you get a sense they know each other, and I really like that because we're really expanding the supernatural realm of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and that's really neat. And the fact that she dropped up, the Salem 7, which they're going to be a major factor in the show. So I really like that we're setting up who's going to be the major factor for the show. I mean, because we're going to see Audrey again in the Witcher's role when we get to that in later in the episodes. So that was really intriguing, and I like it was really cool to see like Africa being vulnerable because like she's taking a lot of cuts. Speaking of nudity, like we're seeing like blood at like twice, which is really like not expected for a Disney Plus show. Yeah, I just thought that was really cool, and and hearing that she's like a big target for everyone, so that's like really cool to see. So overall, I was very satisfied with this first episode. I agree with Ceren. Like, it's a pilot episode. I think this definitely nailed it for me to be hooked for the show. So I'm very excited to continue the show for the next 9 or 8 weeks.
8 weeks, sir. Imran.
Oh yeah, 8 weeks. Sorry.
Oh yeah, you know what? I was not expecting that kind of action at the end of this episode and physicality. Like
Action.
And there was fighting. Agatha was getting thrown around. She's getting thrown into bookshelves. Like, it looked kind of brutal and physical. So that surprised me. But that was a great fight scene. It is a solid first episode. I think the runtime is good. I've had issues with the episode runtimes in the past. Either they're too short or too long. They seem to use all 40 plus minutes well. And the second episode seems to be also 40 some odd minutes. So I think that's a plus. Bob is asking, do you like Joe Locke as Wiccan? Well, look, we don't know. We didn't really get to see a lot right now, right? If he is Billy Kaplan, which is Wiccan, which is Wanda's son, we'll see what happens. But he played his part. He's kind of like just this teen goth dude at the moment. I have questions. How did he get into the closet? Who tied him up? What's the deal with that locket? The triple goddesses and
is the him being in a closet some kind of gay queer call out?
Well, now he's gonna have to come out of the closet, but he is tied up. Someone's gonna have to help him out of the closet.
He's gay in the comic, though, I believe.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think so. But will we see? There'll be any hint of Scarlet Witch or any other top tier, characters? Could they make an appearance?
I think she'll show up in the last episode.
Yeah,
so I heard
that's where she's gonna come back.
I mean, if anything, they should get her. That would be an amazing finish. I've heard the first couple of episodes are kind of a slow burn, but then it kind of like picks up and gets really good towards the end. So if they want to end this with a bang, yeah, you need Wanda, something show up, pop in there.
It's like most things, Rod. You got to get to the road first.
You got to find the road and visit the wonderful Wizard of Oz.
The action doesn't happen until you hit the road.
Look, we also know Disney loves their lesbian witches, so we'll see how this plays out.
That's right, they do. Most definitely. Guys, let's do some ratings, and then we're going to do some plugs. Everybody gets to talk about their wonderful content, and then we get the fuck out of here. Agatha All Along episode 1 is just about wrapped up here. Ratings 1 through 10. Well, you know what? We'll switch it up and we'll do 1 out of 5 just to make things interesting. Gunnar, what's your rating? 1 to 5.
I mean, 4.9, almost a 5. I thought it was great. It left me with 0 disappointments and 100% enthusiasm to watch the next episode. So why not a 5? It was great.
Okay, Ceren.
I would give it a 5 because when I watched it, it was like 3 a.m. So I was like, that's kind of like already eerie. And then watching this was also very eerie. So I like the atmosphere of it. So, and also it's kind of like raining here. So it was perfect. And also I love Aubrey Plaza, Catherine Hahn, and very excited and intrigued about this job. This teen wizard he's most likely will be queer. So.
Well, it's good to have something to cover on Disney Plus again from Marvel. I'll say that to bring good people together like this, having a good conversation about something that we all watch together, right? I enjoyed seeing all your faces and having everybody together, for the show tonight. Thank you very much. I'm just a pop culture guy. Your rating, sir?
Sure. I will give this a 4 out of 5. It's a really good episode. I mean, it's a story. It's just a startup episode, just getting us to what we need to know for the next episodes, and it did it very well. I thought the pacing was well done. Nothing, it's not my favorite of first episodes from some of the Disney Plus shows. I think some of them are much better than this, but I could put it as third after WandaVision or Loki. It's just, it depends how they set it up for their series.
Only 1 episode so far, sir.
Yeah, exactly.
Of the wait. Hey, Rob,
yeah,
what do you think?
I give it a 4. I mean, it did its job. Just like Andre said, it's well paced. It was unexpected and intriguing, and kept plenty of twists. And they're moving along. They've set it up. They've woken her up, and some action. There was like an actual fight scene. You got some booty, and everything. What else could you want?
Cyber.
I give it a 4 as well. Yeah, just like Imran said, it got across. It was decent. It was fun. I had a good time. It was entertaining, so I give it a 4.
There you go. Hey, I'm gonna do it for my nigga I just met right here, y'all. My mind's telling me no, but that crack, y'all. That crack keeps telling me yes. Gotta go.
I give that video a 5 out of 5.
All right, I'll give the episode a 4 crack rocks. 4 crack rocks for the episode. 4 rocks, as we call it on the street, on the road. We call rocks. There you go. 4 rocks for the episode. And first off, plugging their content, plugging their shit. Ceren from Movie Reviews with Ceren podcast. Ceren, my friend, who's in good health. Talk about movie reviews with Ceren.
It's a podcast where I do reviews, about predictions, TV show reviews, movie reviews. Then I will talk about the Emmys today. I'm very excited. And I also do recaps on D23, Disney's Expo, Netflix's Geek Week. So it's a lot of content.
I see that. It looks like you just did Andy Walker on the best horror movies of this in the past century video, and it looks like you went for 2 hours with it.
Yeah, that was fun.
Good for you. And I was on Movie Reviews with Ceren several months ago. I was on, so she's had me. So once you got me on, you're pretty much set. You know, you're good to go. Because I'm the ultimate guest. So. Okay, thank you very much, Ceren. It's good to see you again. I know everybody's happy to see you. Since the last time we saw you was during Shogun. That killed it during the Emmys, of course.
18 was so cool.
Cleaned
And
up.
Anna survived on, so I was very happy.
Cyberneticshark, sir.
All right, folks. So if you have liked me here on the panel or as a moderator of the MCU's Bleeding Edge, you can check my solo content out. You can find me under Cyberneticshark. You can find me on YouTube, TikTok, X, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Patreon, pretty much anywhere. You can see there my most recent review or trailer reaction, of course, is for the upcoming Sonic 3, which comes out in December. Can't wait to see it. The first 2 films were fantastic. My most recent review, of course, is Harold and the Purple Crayon, which was a really fantastic film. If you haven't seen it, based off of a great children's book from the 50s. Really fun stuff there. If you have not checked out the trailer for Y2K yet, Kyle Mooney's directorial debut from SNL. Check that out too as well. I went and saw a couple new movies this week, The Killer's Game and Speak No Evil. My mini reviews of those are up. Full-length reviews will be up soon, along with some other reviews for you guys and trailer reactions. Lots of movies coming out this month. Big movie month. But yeah, just keep on trucking, keep on subscribing, keep on liking, and let's keep growing. Help us and the MCU Bleeding Edge become your #1 place to watch.
That's right. Your #1 spot for all the best queer MCU content.
All the crack rock you can smoke.
Yeah, and the rocks too. On the road, you get the rocks. I'm just Pop Culture Guy, sir.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Doing okay. Just recently post my. Actually, I started doing short videos. Checked it out. I'm just getting used to it. I just posted one about my involvement here for the Africa panel, and plus I recently post my Batman 89 comic part 6 is out now. Check that out.
Do you need my help, sir, so I can help you put your thumbnails in the right direction?
No.
Just turn your head. It's fine. Just turn the phone.
let me see how this goes. But I mean, it's funny. Anyway, I'm trying. It's different. I'm trying to be different, folks. So so I'm trying to do that. I will get better at it, later in the road. So plus, next this Sunday, me, Jeff, hopefully Cyber, and Aston is gonna come back again. We're gonna do a live stream review of Blazing Saddles, a classic Mel Brooks comedy back in the 70s. So that's going to be our second live stream show for this September. Please join us that Sunday, 9:45 Eastern time. And yeah, that's it. So thank you. And it was great to see you guys again. It's going to be an exciting 8 weeks, as Jeff say.
Okay. Gunnar, I'm going to pull up an MCU podcast for you, sir, so that you actually have plugs. I feel bad not letting you plug anything.
Well, you know what? All my stuff is at wideopenmic.net. All the shows that I'm on and produce.
Wideopenmic.net?
Wideopenmic.net. We got a Lost show going on now. We're getting ready to start season 5, I believe, of Lost. So almost done with that show. 2 more seasons. That's called We Have to Go Back. And got a bunch of stuff coming slowly as we bring a bunch of shows back. But wideopenmic.net. All sorts of stuff. Jeff's been on. He was on our Snap show. He didn't show up for the second part, but that's okay.
I didn't show up for the second part?
Yeah, you missed the part 2.
Oh, man, what the hell is wrong with me?
It's all right. I still come back for you.
I must have been smoking rocks.
All those rocks.
That night. I must have been rock smoking. You know what I'm saying? You can't blame me. I was getting out of the closet for a night, I'm telling you, the first time when I saw Billy Kaplan duct taped in that closet, I was thinking maybe he accidentally went to Dungeon Master's house. The Rick Dungeon Master went down into the dungeon, and got caught like a party. Got caught one of those weird parties I've heard about. And
isn't that house technically Ralph Boner's house anyway? Agatha staying in.
Oh, is that the house?
I thought it was.
Oh,
because she always talked about her husband Ralph.
Oh, right.
I believe that was
Ceren, Ceren, I can pull up your YouTube channel. Yes, I can. I will jump right on it. Movie reviews with Ceren YouTube channel. I've got it, my friend. Give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 shakes. Two rocks. There you go, Ceren. Close this out.
Yeah, so this is my YouTube channel where I post the video podcast versions of my podcast interviews with my guests.
Oh, I like that. You look good in that season 3 finale video. That's a good picture of you.
Thanks.
You see this, Andreas? The Dark Knight is Christopher Nolan's best movie.
Oh, really? I know. I mean, personally, for me, Inception is the best Nolan film, but I cannot argue for that.
So yeah.
Where am I?
I forgot about. I still have to upload a few. So
Oh man.
My bad. But you're on Spotify, so that's good. And on Apple Music, Apple Podcast, sorry, that's also good.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ceren. Yes, please subscribe and check out Ceren's YouTube channel. We appreciate everybody out there. Thank you, everybody, for joining the panel tonight. Gunnar, Imran from Jock and Nerd Podcast. Hopefully you'll come back. Ceren, thank you for staying awake for us. We appreciate it. Cyber, Andre's the pop culture guy. Good to see you guys. We'll see you later, folks. God bless you. We love you.
Peace.
Peace.